What's up guys, Hassan Malik back here, and in today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I want to talk about a movie that just came out pretty recently, and it's something that I'm sure all of you guys have heard of. Today we're going to be talking about Black Panther. Now this is one of the most anticipated movies of 2018. I'm pretty sure it even broke a record for pre-sale tickets. On Thursday alone, it made $25 million, which is a really insane record that it broke. Honestly, I don't think most people are expecting this movie to be as big as it is right now. Only in the past couple of months, we've seen this huge movement behind it that's allowed this movie to succeed as much as it has in the box office. Now, the reason we're talking about this movie today is because today we're going to be discussing how good this film actually is. Now, at the time of the recording of this video, it currently holds a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is an insane score. That's really high. And the movie just has this general consensus of everybody really just loving the movie. Fans seem to love it, critics seem to love it as well, and the vast majority of people would say this film is one of the best in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, that was a thought that I had about this movie when I was going into it, watching it on Thursday night. But prior to watching the movie, I watched a couple of reviews here on YouTube from reviewers that I trust. I'm sure you guys know them, Jeremy Johns and Chris Stuckman. They're really big here on YouTube and they do film reviews. I watched their reviews on the movie, and these are people that I trust and I generally share opinions with, and they said that there was actually a few flaws with the film that they found, and because of that they couldn't give it this amazing rating that everybody else was giving it. And like Chris Stuckman said in his video, this film has a really unpenetrable hype around it, and because of that, I guess some people are really afraid of sharing their real opinion because they don't want to stand out and just look like they're the weird ones out while everybody else is loving the movie. But yeah, the two main flaws that I saw in most reviews prior to watching the film was that the film actually had subpar CGI, which is kind of strange from a film in 2018, especially a film with this caliber and such a large budget. Apparently the fight scenes did not look as good as they probably should have and almost looked cartoon-like. And the second flaw was that Killmonger, the villain, who was really amazing in this film, apparently just wasn't there enough in the movie. And yeah, after watching this film on Thursday night, I gotta say I kind of disagree with this opinion. Killmonger, who was played by Michael B. Jordan, is in the beginning of the movie, but then about until halfway through he isn't really seen much at all, and it kind of just focuses on Wakanda and what's going on with T'Challa and all the problems he's dealing with at the time. And during all those moments we don't really get to see Killmonger at all, and everybody was saying that he just wasn't in the film enough for that first half. And after seeing this movie, I just don't think that was the case. I mean, honestly, when I was watching the movie the entire time, I never actually forgot that Killmonger existed. I think it was almost necessary that Killmonger had to take a backseat during that first half of it, because there was just so much that they had to establish with the country of Wakanda and all the different characters in this really amazing cast. So because they had to set up all that in that first half of the movie, there really wasn't enough space for Killmonger to be in there. And I think it would have been really weird to just cut back to scenes of Killmonger doing some stuff that probably would have looked a little strange in the film. And honestly, I think the way he was portrayed in this movie and the amount of screen time he had was appropriate. And man, when he does actually come into the movie, things really do pick up. And I gotta say, he is just one of the best villains I've ever seen in an MCU film. I would go even as far as to say that he is the best villain in the MCU so far, even better than Loki. But again, that's just my opinion. Michael B. Jordan gave an extremely emotional performance as Killmonger as well. And honestly, I think he had one of the best performances in the entire movie. When Killmonger was on screen, he really just stole the show, which isn't taking anything away from Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther, who was also really amazing and had really emotional scenes as well. It's just that the villain of Killmonger had really noble motivations, although he did carry them out in very violent and evil ways. You can see his ultimate goal and why he thinks that way, and at some points he might actually have you agreeing with him and with his ideology as well. I'm not gonna lie, at some points in the movie I was actually rooting for Killmonger because they do really portray that he's trying to do the right thing, I guess, just doing it in a really bad way. And yeah, he's just a really great villain, and I think the amount that he was in the film was fine. He didn't overstay his welcome, he wasn't there too little. I think that was just a good amount to have him in the movie. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the first flaw that most people had. The second flaw is the bad CGI in this film. Now, prior to watching this movie, I did watch one of the clips that was actually revealed on Jimmy Kimmel Live, I'm pretty sure. And that was a fight scene along the underground subway in Wakanda where Black Panther and Killmonger are like falling through the sky and fighting on these train tracks. And yeah, while I can say you can tell it's CGI, because obviously it's CGI, it would be really impractical to try and do that with practical effects. I don't think it was actually that bad. Now, while the YouTube clips that are uploaded for this scene look really terrible, it doesn't really look like this in the movie at all. I think the versions they released on YouTube are just unfinished versions of the movie. In the movie, it actually did look okay. And while you can tell that it is CGI, it's not really bad CGI to a point where it looks cartoon-like. I think it did a good job trying to look as realistic as it could. And I don't think it broke the immersion of the film or anything, or got in the way of these really intense fight scenes toward the end of the movie. Like, my mind never snapped out and thought, oh my god, that looks so fake. But yeah, just those two flaws in general, I don't think were actually present in the movie, and that's just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people would say that those flaws do exist, and again, that's their opinion, and they're allowed to think that as well. But I just don't think those flaws were present in this film. One of the other big flaws that people did mention was that it almost feels like it's two different movies, and I kind of have to disagree with this. I thought it flowed pretty well. Now, while after the second half of the film, things do pick up dramatically, there's never really a moment where it feels unattached or separate from the first half of the movie, it does really feel like one film. And maybe people are saying that because it's a little bit long. I do think the runtime is at about 2 hours and 20 minutes. I just think the film was actually well pieced together and did work entirely as one movie, and it didn't really feel like two at all. But yeah, those are just the main flaws that I saw people saying prior to watching this film, and after watching it I can say that they weren't really present in the movie. I'm not saying this is the perfect film or anything, but I do think it honestly does deserve all this praise and hype that it's getting. I don't think this is an overhyped film at all, and I actually would say this is a really good movie, and I do think it almost does deserve that 97% rating. In terms of all the different superhero films we've gotten, this does stand out a lot and really does hold its own against all the other MCU films and DC films and all the other superhero films we've gotten before. This movie had an outstanding cast, an amazing villain, great action sequences, and actually focused on the characters in the film, which is a little bit rare for MCU films, but was a nice change of pace. And I hope the MCU actually does this more in future films as well, and focus more on the stories of the characters rather than focus on big action set pieces. But yeah guys, those are pretty much just my thoughts on the movie. I did try and keep this entire talk about this film spoiler free because I know a lot of people just haven't seen it yet. I was lucky enough to see it a little bit early, but if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend go checking this one out. It is a really great movie, and if you guys have seen it, go down in the comments below and let me know what you guys think about the film. I really want to know what you guys think about this, whether you think it's overhyped or not overhyped. Make sure to go down in the comments below and let me know what you think and why you think that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed watching this video as well, make sure to hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more Marvel content, subscribe to my channel, where hopefully we'll be doing more videos just like this one. But yeah guys, that's pretty much going to do it for me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.